Yeah, I'm Eric Rodgers, and I'm happy to be here to discuss my story. My story actually started when I was growing up, and I was overweight throughout grade school. That created some emotional issues for me. But then by the time I was going off to college, I'd figured out a way to lose weight, and I did. And it was randomly, it was just eat 3 meals a day and don't eat anything else, and that worked for me. I lost some weight, got to college. Now I'm in college and do pretty well. Now I'm in optometry school and do pretty well. Now I'm about mid 40s, and despite having run marathons from age 40 to 45, at age 45, I was told I was pre-diabetic. The doctor said to eat less fat and exercise more. Turned out it was all wrong. And about age 45, I was put on antidepressants, and they worked for a while. Life events got stressful, and maybe I'd been on the medicines long enough they quit working. I had a pretty severe depression. I would have episodes. I had like 3 major episodes, and the last 2, I did have suicidal thoughts, and it was getting pretty desperate. Just still working, getting along throughout that, just getting by every day. And back up to 2016, the doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, and I was still depressed and still not doing well. But she said, as I said earlier, she said to eat less fat and exercise more. So I knew it was wrong because I was running marathons for 15 years straight, 1 or 2 years. So I knew it was wrong. And then I thought, well, maybe the eat less fat's wrong. And so I said, okay, well, now it's on me because my doctor is wrong. It's obvious. So I have to figure this out. First, I went to the bookstore. First book I got was How Not to Die by Michael Greger. It's a vegan doctor. And actually, I was vegan for 6 months, and I got a little better during that. I lost some weight. Very difficult eating that way for me. So later on in that year, I learned about the animal-based keto. I'm still on antidepressants. This is 2016. I'm losing weight. I guess I've just kind of evened out, probably is the best way to describe it. So 2017 rolls around. I'm full keto. I'm still on 225 milligrams of Effexor, which is a high dose from what I understand. And then I see Dr. E wrote an article in, I believe it was in Psychology Today, and she said she's going to this meeting, the International Society of Nutritional Research in Psychiatry, something like that, in Bethesda, Maryland. I've never been to a single conference like that in my life. I'm an optometrist. I go to those conferences. I sign up because I'm starting to figure out diet is helping me, and I'm like, but I don't understand it. And so here we go. I'm just gonna go see if I can talk to her. Didn't know her at all at that point. I'm up there, I'm eating my keto, and there I run into her, and she's an amazing person, willing to sit with me throughout that conference. And for a lot of the talks, not all of them, but then I was like, oh, there's a talk there by Dr. Palmer. Dr. Palmer relayed stories of his patients, 2 of them. And that was it. That was for sure for me. I said, wow, okay, this works. I'm not just thinking this works. This is a Harvard scientist saying it works. Going back home, still keto, still 225 Effexor, but now I have to get off that medicine. Well, I feel I don't need it anymore. And so, unlike now when there's resources available, like Metabolic Mind again, I just did it on my own. And so I just tapered the medicine very slowly over, I don't remember how many months, maybe 6-8 months. And it was scary because, I'd read all the things that could happen. Luckily for me, none of them happened. And as I got off the medicine completely, which was in 17, I guess 8 years ago now, I kept getting better as I got off the medicine because I didn't need it anymore. And I was just getting side effects and no benefits. I had periods where I felt good in my formal life, we'll say, but never like everything was working. Problems happen, but you can deal with them. I then think, wow, I've literally found something better than the fountain of youth. I mean, this is it. So everyone is going to want to know, what the heck did you do? Of course, I lost weight. I didn't have as much weight to lose, but I still lost 30, 40 pounds, something like that. I was like, no, that didn't matter. It wasn't that. It's what happened to my mind is what mattered. And it was just amazing. And it's been amazing for 8 years. One reason I'm doing this, because I want to reach people out there that could benefit. And there's countless people that could benefit. Not just depression, which I had, major depression, but also all forms of mental illness have been shown to benefit from metabolic therapy, which includes, but not exclusively, diet. For me, it was diet that was the key. I was doing everything else, and those things weren't working. But people just need to know that this is a extremely powerful tool, and that diet and lifestyle, which is more than just diet, it's sleep, it's exercise, it's relationships, it's everything. But for me, I was doing those other things and they weren't working at all. And so the diet piece, as other people have discussed, it changes the energy use in your brain. And it's very fundamental to how your brain operates. And if your brain is struggling to operate with the way you're currently eating, changing food is very powerful. Dr. Eads says it's the most powerful tool in her toolbox. And for me, that's not a question. It's a fact. Doctors are not explaining this to patients about how powerful diet is. Having bad advice was actually the key for me, one of the main keys, because this doctor doesn't know how to help. Didn't do the history to find out I was running marathons twice a year, once or twice a year for 15 years straight. So the exercise, but the low fat, that's what they're taught. Just eat less fat, exercise more. And I'm afraid 8 years later, that's what doctors are still telling people. And the way Dr. Palmer would say, he says, give me 90 days. Just do it for 90 days. If it's not working, then you can tell me it didn't work. But if you do it for 2 weeks, or you do it halfway, you haven't tried keto. You haven't tried keto as an intervention. You have to give it months, because it is, for most people see benefit fairly quickly, but then it's a gradual improvement which continues for months, if not actually years. It's kind of remarkable, really. So if someone's under care for mental illness and they want to incorporate diet, the first thing they have to do is tell their doctor, their prescriber, I'm doing this, and I think it might help me. And I want you to know when things change down the road, this is something that's different. It's not just the medicines I'm on. And then point your doctor to Metabolic Mind and say, here's some information on what I'm doing. And I want your support in this. Because people absolutely shouldn't have to do this alone. It can be extremely dangerous to do this on your own. In 2017, that was pretty much the only option, but now it's not. There's support out there, and you can create your own support with your doctor by saying, hey, here it is. This is what I look at this. This is what I'm doing. And if they're skeptical, that's fine. Just continue on doing it. But you got to go all in, or you won't get the benefits. It's just remarkable how once I got better with keto, there was a certainty that, okay, I finally found the right tool. It's working, and if I just use it, I don't have to worry about depression anymore. That was, and I, so, but I had that epiphany, we'll call it, almost 8 years ago. And it was correct. I didn't know it at the time. I thought it was correct, but it absolutely was correct. I've deviated off the diet really literally less than 5 times in 8 years, which sounds excessive. But each one of those, variably, there was some mood issues. It was like, oh, okay, I don't like this. So, for the last 8 years now, it's been amazing. The feeling of calmness with this diet is remarkable. You just are able to think more clearly, enjoy things more. The bad things aren't as bad. They're still there, and you still have ups and downs, but it's really about your capacity to tolerate the downs. I have headroom for bad things happening. When I was not well, there was no headroom. So when bad things happen, it was very difficult. Now bad things happen and I can take it in stride and move forward.